My name is Ryan Joseph. I'm from Toronto, Ontario, Canada, and I'm an entrepreneur. It basically called me. I've wanted to do it for a while now, but I don't think it was the absolute right time. And I kind of reached a point where I just was burning out significantly from working too much and getting very disassociated with myself. So I wanted to take the time to heal and kind of connect back into myself again and change some of the routines and patterns in my life. You know, I basically had examined a lot of the other ayahuasca companies that were online, and just the amount of reviews and the quality of the place. Melissa's been great. Just contacting people being very personal, not feeling like a big company, but like just a genuine kind of vibe of them. So it was a very easy sell once I just had a few kind of touch points with Soltara, that it was definitely one of the more premier services in the region, in the area. I didn't know what to expect. You know, I think, you know, you read about ayahuasca and everyone's like, oh, you're going to do ayahuasca, you know, you're going to puke, you know, you're going to do all this stuff, you know, so I was kind of like prepared to have this really, you know, tough experience. But I think the amount of preparation that Soltara kind of provided me prior to, with getting my diet on point, my mindset, and kind of coming into this thing ready, really made the difference for me. So yeah, so basically, you know, like the first night you kind of come here, everybody's kind of like bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, slightly nervous, but no one's saying so. And then, you know, they kind of get you to practice something called vomitino. You'll hear this word. It's a very fancy word for puking. And you know, through that you learn how to puke your first day, and they give you some lemongrass, which is a very pleasant experience. And you know, from your first ceremony, taking your shot, it's very easy. They just kind of like get you in. It's not like anything like too hard. They just get you kind of introduced to the plant. I think like for me, I wanted to, like, as being a bit of an extreme person, I wanted to dive right in right away. But you begin to like respect the plant and what this medicine is all about, because you know, understanding plant medicine myself, ayahuasca is a completely different ball game, and you really have to, it just abides by its own set of rules. So it wasn't until the second night that I had my like you know, life-altering night is probably the nicest way I could say it, where it really kind of took a hold of me and took me on a pretty rough ride, but it was end up being like probably one of the most moving experiences of my life that night. It just showed me, you know, it's kind of goes into your system. This is, I call her like the mother ayahuasca, and you build this relationship with her, as kind of crazy as that sounds, where you have a very clear dialogue with her, and she analyzes your entire body, your mind. It's like she's processing everything, and then she tells it back to you. And she tells you where you've been going wrong and where you're going right, and it's just like, it's in a way to take your problems and just pull them out of you for a bit, to understand them from a different view, a different perception, so that you can deal with them and you can attack them differently, so you don't feel so tied to your problems. So that was beautiful. And then, you know, after going through that experience and purging, and when you're purging, it's like, it sounds scary, but you're purging your past. You're purging these dark things that are kind of inside you, that have been sitting in your stomach and your mind for all this time, and it goes. And once it goes, you feel it go. And then you feel this huge, you know, joyous relief of what you've just witnessed and what you've just gone through. And then from there, because I was doing a whole week, you have 2 other sessions, and the sessions just kind of get more gentle and not as tough. But you're going to have one tough session, but that tough session is what sets the tone for the rest. And then as I started progressing, on my third one, I asked for, like, my intention was for my heart to open up more, for me to feel more empathy in my life, something I've been like a bit struggling with, being an entrepreneur, of just, you know, working so much, becoming a bit of a robot. And it showed me that it made me cry, it made me feel emotional, but in a really kind of joyous way. So it's remarkable how the plant works, and how setting intentions and working with the shaman down there, and it's unbelievable. There's nothing I can say. It's like it's this entire other life form that you have to respect. It's an ancient technology that you are coming into your body that hasn't been done before from like a Western society standpoint. So for anybody that's out there, you know, that's going through something, I look at these beds that are here as sacred beds. You know, it's like if you need to be in that bed, there is a reason for you to be in that bed. This isn't a trip to just have a pleasure ayahuasca trip. It's like you're coming here to do work, and you have to take it that way, and you have to really need it, and it has to feel called for you. So don't do it on a whim, or don't do it because, yeah, I heard my friends do it, maybe I'll give it a try. Like, come here with intention of what you really want to take out of it, and you'll get something significant from it. Yeah, I feel like it's really helped me with just a great deal of clarity. Like, I feel like I've grown into like a man here this week. And I feel like I really feel that in my core. Like, I feel super grounded, calm, stoic, and ready. And, you know, being burnt out, you're a bit all over the place. Your thoughts are all over the place. You have a hard time, you know, envisioning the things that you really want for yourself, or believing the things you really want for yourself. And now I feel like anything's possible. And I have conviction towards what I want to do in my life. And I'll respect what I've learned here, because it was a lot of work, and to disrespect it and go back to the way you were would just wipe out all this time of like 2 weeks of diet and prep, and being a week here, doing some very intense medicine, and the 2 weeks follow where we have to like follow our diet. It's like, that's a month of your life that you're dedicating towards something, so don't disrespect that. Absolutely, yeah. You know, I think anybody that's doing ayahuasca needs to come to Soltara, and I think, you know, I know there's other bigger ones out there, but to have an experience with 24 people that you have to share a room with energetically, it's important that it's at a certain size that makes sense. And I think the Soltara is like, it feels like they're overstaffed in the best possible way. There's just so much help here. Like, everywhere you look, there's help. And you never feel like you're just, you know, a lost puppy dog trying to find your way through this. Everybody has an answer for you at any point. So I highly recommend coming to Soltara.
Thank you so much.